Today I'm going to show you how to make a fantastically emollient, nourishing salt scrub for your body using the plants and weeds that grow wild in your garden. Thousands of years we have used nature as our pharmacy, and it's only in the recent few generations that we've lost much of that knowledge, but there's so much that we do know, and there's so many plants growing in your yard that have incredible healing properties. Months ago, one of my favorite subscribers, Beth, sent me, well, she actually sent it to Mrs. Wrangler Star and I usurped it, but the book called On My Swedish Island, written by Julia Lindahl. She's an American woman and she married a Swedish guy, and she wrote a book on Swedish well-being. I've been using it now for about 2 months, and I haven't used lotion since, and it is August. It's middle of August. I've been outside, as you can tell from the color of my skin, basically all summer long. The drying, damaging effects of the sun are no match for this duo, and I'm super excited to share this recipe with you because you can customize it in any way you want. For this recipe, you're going to need salt, oil, honey, and herbs. That's it. The first time I made this salt scrub, I went out to my garden and just collected plants that I knew had medicinal qualities, either antiseptic, antibacterial, or astringent properties. Now, astringents are great to add topically to our skin to protect them, to kind of provide a barrier, a layer against infection or disease. For the fragrance, I'm going to use lavender. Now, my lavender is pretty much expired. It's all done. There's a few little bright purple ones still out there blooming, but most of it is in its dried form, and I'm going to use it in that form. It really doesn't matter. You also could use rose petals, whole roses, oils. You could use pine needles. You can make an extraction from them. The only oils that I recommend not using on your skin because they're photosensitive are the citrus family. So stay away from citrus family. It will cause your skin to be more reactive in the sun. So lavender for fragrance. I use plantain, Plantago major, and plantain grows wild everywhere in the Pacific Northwest. And the part of the plant that you use is actually the aerial part, so anything above the ground. I also collected some yarrow leaves, Achillea millifolium. And yarrow is a very medicinal plant, and it grows wild all over here as well. And so when it comes up in my garden, just like the plantain, I just leave it so that I always have it to use. Lastly, I have the roots to Echinacea. Echinacea is also called purple coneflower. It does not grow wild where we are, so I grow it in my garden. And now I don't want to damage my plant, and I don't want it to suffer, so I'll lightly just dig around the base of the plant and just prune off 1 or 2 little tiny root buds. We're not making medicine, we're making nourishment for our skin, so we don't need a ton of this stuff. This comes together in seconds. We're just going to take our leaves. Now on things like yarrow, I'll just strip off the flowery, feathery parts of the leaves and use those, and then the rough tough stems I discard and use the soft kind of tips. Our Echinacea roots. And the lavender, I'm not going to use all of this. Again, it's just for the fragrance. So I'm just going to pull off maybe 10 flowers worth. Okay, maybe 12. Okay, so all of our plants are whole and in the blender. And I'm just going to put 1 tablespoon of oil in with the plants to get them all ground up into a fine, fine, fine paste. You can just dry grind them, but it seems to be a little more helpful and a little quicker if you add just a little bit of oil. Now I'm going to measure equal parts oil and salt, and I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of each. Now I'm using olive oil. You could use almond, you could use avocado. Coconut oil would be a good one for your skin if you live in a warm place and it doesn't set up. If you live in a cold climate, it's going to turn solid and then it's going to break apart in the shower and little chunks are going to be everywhere and it's not going to be a nice experience. So skip that if you live in northern climates. Then add about 1 tablespoon of honey. Now when you use honey, make sure it's raw, real honey. The squeezy bottle bare stuff is not going to cut it. Put your lid on and blend for just a few seconds, maybe 45 seconds. If your blender kicks up any leaves and debris and pieces of plant, just scrape them back down a couple of times until you get everything blended really well. And that's it. It smells so good. It smells kind of like pesto or something delicious. This recipe of salt scrub yields about 1/2 cup, a little more. And that's about 5 or 6 showers worth for me. So how you use it is you get in the shower and get all of your skin wet, turn the water off, liberally apply the salt scrub all over and really exfoliate and get all of that dead skin off. Then turn the shower back on, rinse your body off, and then you apply honey. So using raw honey, I maybe use 4 teaspoons, a little more than a tablespoon for my entire body. So once the honey hits water, it doesn't get sticky like you would imagine. It actually turns emollient, and it's easily spread all over your body. So I will cover my body in honey and massage it into your skin just as you would lotion if you were rubbing lotion in, and let it sit for about a minute. Turn the shower on, rinse the honey residue off, and that's it. Honey is not only fantastic for your body, it's wonderful for your face. I have not used detergents to clean my face since I was in my late teens. A friend of mine was a model, and he said to me once, he has very, very oily skin, and I was asking him what he did because his skin was so beautiful, and he goes, I never use detergents on my skin. And it really made me think about it. I have dry skin, and so I try not to use anything that would be more drying on my skin. And oftentimes we use detergents to strip away our natural oils, and then we apply all this junk on top of it to make up for the drying effects, and we create this vicious cycle. So I use honey to wash my face. And if I'm wearing eye makeup and I have that greasy mascara residue, I get rid of it with coconut oil. So simple, so nourishing, and so affordable. It's crazy that we spend so much money on all of these products for our skin and our face and all of these beauty creams and these magic elixirs when oftentimes the simplest things are the best. So try washing your face with honey. A little bit of raw honey, a little bit of water. You apply it to wet skin, you lather it up, wash it, and that's it. If you don't have medicinal herbs or you're too afraid of searching out wilds, you can also use essential oils, and you can just skip the plant part altogether. So enjoy this.